Roses are red, violets are blue. 15 good minutes is coming at you. Hey guys, welcome to 15 Good Minutes. I'm Shy, and today I have a special guest who is so awesome, Kezia. Hi.
Hey girl.
How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
So Kezia is our special guest today, and she is, I don't even have the words to describe how amazing of a poet she is. A writer, humanitarian, she's just all of that, y'all. All of that in a bag of chips.
Like chips.
So how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
I guess I am. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am Kezia. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee. Migrated to Baltimore a few years ago, and now
Still a fan. Sorry, it's just
hilarious.
It's just automatic.
Oh my gosh. But no, moved to Baltimore and then relocated to PG recently, and so, I'm a Memphis native, but DMV has definitely embraced me as one of its very own, and so I've been doing spoken word for 11 years.
Ooh, 11 years.
It's like better. I need to apply for benefits or
You
something.
need to get benefits.
But yeah, I've been doing it for 11 years. I've been writing since I was 7 years old.
What?
Yeah.
So like you were in how 7 is first grade. So you were writing poetry in first grade.
I learned to read and write really, really early. And with everything that was kind of going on around me, writing was my processor. That was the way that I kind of dealt, and not even really understood what was happening around me, but kind of dealt with everything that was going on.
So you was like that woke first grader.
I was that kid, like legit. I was the kid who my mom would fuss at me all the time because I had books everywhere in the house. Bathroom,
that's
kitchen, her room, my room.
Child.
Yeah, like books everywhere. And she would, like, a punishment for me would be her, you can't read books for like 3 days. And I'm like, why don't you just kill me? I was that kid. That was me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
so you didn't get in any trouble. You were just like, you got, okay. Well, you were able to. So you're good writing. Are you good with your words too? Like, could you talk yourself out of some things?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I'm not, I don't mean to brag. It's not the type of person that I am. But, I have finagled out of some punishments. There was one instance where I did something I knew it was wrong. But, I mean, you got this big white wall, and I got all these crayons. What you expecting me to do? So I had this big, beautiful mural and stuff. And on the wall.
With crayon?
In an apartment that we didn't own. It was great. But it was beautiful. And, my mom was like, we talked about you writing on the walls. This is a drawing. This isn't writing. This is a masterpiece. And she's like, get out of my sight. Go upstairs. Go upstairs and get out of my sight. I'm like, Mom, but I drew this for you. It's Mother's Day.
Oh, that was perfect.
Yeah, but it wasn't Mother's Day. I was still working on my finagling skills, so I wasn't great at it. But I didn't get in as much trouble as I probably would.
Because you made it seem like you did it for your mom.
Yeah, because I really didn't.
I was the type of kid that would just cry. So I couldn't even get mad. I knew I was busted. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
I was, yeah.
Tears didn't work. I was the only child. Well, I have an older brother, but we're so many years apart. We were basically raised as like two only children. So it's nobody to blame broken stuff on in the house.
Yeah, that's how
nobody to share chores with. You stand there washing dishes next to the dishwasher and you just contemplate about your life. Like, what is this? We have a fully functional, brand new dishwasher right here.
But you're the
and
dishwasher.
Here I am, busting sides. That's cool,
Hey, but it taught you some life lesson later.
I figured it out one day. I don't know what it was. I don't know what the life lesson was.
So, you refer to yourself as a bibliophile, right?
Yes.
So, a bibliophile is a lover of words.
Yes, books. A bibliophile is a lover of books.
Oh,
a logophile is a lover of words.
She
both
just
of
told
those.
me.
I'm both of those. Biblio and logo.
I thought I was dropping some knowledge.
I mean, words are in books.
I blew it. I just blew it. I just knew I was going to say. I'm going to say bibliophile. And
It's all good.
Okay, so you are a lover of books, and you just explained you've been reading since a wee girl.
Yeah, a little bitty.
A little girl. But what caused your love for words and books and poetry and writing and all the above?
I had to come to terms with the fact that I have a really vivid imagination. And I think I was always, maybe low-key, like, looking for ways of escape. I was always looking for ways to kind of, not really escape reality, but I guess in my own little 7-year-old world, maybe try to go somewhere else. And so when I'm in a book, it's like me, it was like me and that book. Like, I'm in there, I'm in the story, I'm in the plot, I'm, relating to the characters. And that, I think that also helped form, my love of writing, being able to create something like that for myself.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what was your favorite book as a kid?
Man, okay, I'm about to date myself. All right. So I was like 10 years old reading like Sweet Valley Twins,
what?
Babysitter's Club, all the Judy Blume books, all like Ramona and Beezus, all those. My favorite book, my coming of age book, it's still my favorite today, is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
No, I never read it.
Yo, this book, please look that up.
Are You There, God?
And it's about, it's such a dynamic, it's like a dynamic story. It's about this girl who, she moves from the big city into a smaller town with her parents. One parent is Jewish, the other parent is was born raised Christian. And so they're giving her the choice to choose which path she wants to follow. But this is all around the time where she's coming from age 12 to age 13. So she's becoming developing into a young woman. And all the things that girls go through during that time, it addresses it. And it's written so well. I can read that now, cover to cover. Yeah, I love that book.
I have to check that out.
And so it was books like that, even Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry.
That's my favorite book. That's my favorite book.
And so just books like that, and just as I got older, I guess my reading matured a bit as far as I started reading more Toni Morrison and more James Baldwin and more, and appreciating poets who I didn't realize invested so much into Black culture. Like James Weldon Johnson is my hands down absolute 100% favorite poet ever. The way this man wrote, it was crazy. So him, Margaret Walker, talked about James Baldwin, Langston Hughes, all Maya Angelou. She had such a simplicity but such a depth to the way that she wrote and the stuff that she talked about. Please forget about it. So that was the stuff that really influenced me.
Wow. So what are you reading anything now?
Right now I'm reading Tar Baby by Toni Morrison.
Tar Baby. I read that when I was in middle school.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm doing, revisiting books that I read back in middle school and high school. So Tar Baby right now.
Yeah, I need to go back and read the things that kind of sparked me into what I do now, what I'm passionate about.
And Toni Morrison also a favorite. Yeah.
Wow. So when did you know you were a great writer?
I didn't.
You didn't? You just would just write?
Sometimes I still question it.
What?
Yeah, for real.
You're amazing.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks.
But no, I still sometimes, because writers are typically their own worst enemies, right? They're the worst critics. And that just is what it is. But I'm coming to terms with the fact that there is, I'm really trying to be very responsible with what I write and the way I write it, and what I present and the way I present it. I'm really trying to be responsible with it and not take it for granted. Because, apparently it's made some impact. My friends sometimes have to beat it into my head that the things that I say are impactful and they make a difference. And so that means a lot to me.
Yeah, but just from knowing your work and hearing you speak, I can listen to your poems one time and then listen to it another time and get a whole nother deeper level of understanding of what you're talking about.
That's, I guess from a writer's perspective, you write it to mean a certain thing, but it's true. You can listen to, if I listen to a poem by Maya Angelou, Langston Hughes, called When Kids Die. That poem gets me every single time, but every single time I listen to it, I hear something else. And I'm like, this dude is wrecking my life right now.
It's so many messages. Yeah. But that's what you put in your pieces. And I was on your website and you were talking about how you love liner notes.
I do.
So liner notes are the note pages in a CD, if anybody knows what a CD is anymore. But it's the little sleeve that has the credits and the lyrics and the dedications or whatever that the artist wants to put in. and it gives you it gives you a better understanding of what that artist or what that person is going through, or who they were working with when they made that song, and it gives you a better appreciation of that piece, right?
Absolutely.
But I'm the same way. And because I know you, and I know your spirit and your energy, it's like when I hear your poetry, I'm like, yo, like my interpretation of it is so different. So yeah, so can you explain more about the liner notes, and why do you
I always, if I, like I said, we might be dating ourselves a little bit, talking about CDs. No one does CDs anymore. But there's such a beauty, like when you read the liner notes, you find out, like, if say it's a song, and you find out who the producer was, you find out who they dedicated the album to, you find out the lyrics to, like, and you read the lyrics, and so many times, we're guilty. We like the song and the melody, and we be misquoting lyrics like a mug. Like, oh, he said, "Love her, not leave her." Oh,
changes the whole meaning.
That's not what I thought he said at all.
Right.
And so you read them, and sometimes like if you read like the thank yous and stuff, and you're like, yo, so he's like, I wrote that particular piece for my mom, or I wrote that for my sister. And you're like, oh, he's blowing my mind right now. It's so awesome. But you get into that emotion. So you get into that. It's like you get access into that writing space that they were in to produce something like that. That's super important to me.
Yeah, and because we don't use CDs anymore, what Kezia did was she created her own liner notes on SoundCloud.
Did.
So you don't have to read, you just listen. And you get a better understanding of why she wrote certain things, or where did some ideas come from. And I thought that was super dope that she did that. Kudos to you. So you have a new project coming out.
I do.
And it's coming out, what, May 7th?
May 2nd. May 2nd.
Okay.
Which is, oh Lord, it's like 20 minutes away.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
So, right, essentially. So May 2nd, my book, Audio Anthology, is coming out. And I call it Audio Anthology because I started out, a lot of poets that I know start off like writing and then may venture into like spoken word, or venture into like recording CDs and, tracks and stuff. Well, I did it the opposite way. I started with CDs, like recording, and then ended up putting it in a book. And so, this is like, honestly, this is like my life's work. This is like 90% of everything I've ever written, like over the last 11 years in this book. And I was, doing some last minute editing, and I did a page count, and I was like,
what?
Why is this 200 pages?
What?
Why is this 200 pages?
And you're reading that all for audio?
No.
So yes, explain that to me.
So, that would be a great undertaking. Not saying that I can't, but most of it is already audio recorded.
Oh, so you're...
So it's like got all 3 CDs in there. It's got like poems that were written in between albums, poems that were written before, poems that were written after. Like, it's a legit anthology.
Wow.
And I'm so nerve-sighted about it. I'm real nerve-sighted about it.
But I think that comes natural to any artist, right?
Yeah, some of us are more confident than others. And not saying I'm not confident, but
it's a big deal, though. It's your like whole life's work.
It is, absolutely.
So where can people find it?
So it'll be available, of course, on my website, like hard copy, but also it'll be like on your favorite digital ebook retailer. So Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and iBooks, and all the places.
Well, so I can go on my iBooks and find you?
Yeah, on May 2nd.
I know her. That's so great. So you also have a release party too coming up.
I do. It's the turn up. Yeah, May 7th.
May 7th.
Is my release party, and it's all the way live. Like, I'm not a party type of person, and I don't. My friends fuss because I don't celebrate myself enough, and so I'm like, okay, so clearly this has to be a turn up.
Yeah,
and so like the DJ, you can, with your ticket, you get your book. We're gonna take pictures. We're gonna eat good food. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be dope. Live painting, all that.
Oh, yeah, have a live painting.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a turn up.
Well, we're gonna put the link to the release party and for Kezia's website down below, so you'll be able to click it and access it if you want to turn up with us. I'll be there, so you'll see me there. I have trap yoga. I have trap yoga in the morning.
Yes,
I'll be there after.
Yoga. I love black people.
It's a community service project if anybody wants to join
Trap
too.
yoga. Golly.
But Audio Anthology isn't your first project, so can you just expound on the other projects that you've done?
So my first album was Matters of the Heart. It was released in 2009, and oh boy, sounds just like a first album too. It's it's very much a first album, but it really introduced me to the world of just recording and being comfortable in the studio and with sound and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so the second album after that was called Something to Say. Probably, I guess artists aren't supposed to pick favorites, but it's probably my favorite album.
Is that the one you did at Anacostia?
No, that's the third one. That's
okay.
Comfort Zone EP was done at Anacostia in 2014. So Audio Anthology.
You're about to have 4
crazy
projects. That's pretty awesome.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So in addition to being a great poet and writer in person, you also teach the youth.
I teach the babies.
She's a teacher. And she teaches them poetry, y'all. Like, she teaches the babies how to be awesome like her. So can you just give us just a couple pointers on what you kind of focus on when you work with the kids?
One of the biggest things I focus on is confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I first started working with these kids, I had a discussion about what they felt like self-esteem and confidence was. And they were like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
Plant those seeds.
This is going to be good. And so after we had some discussions and we had some talks about what it is and what it means for them and how they're not too young to have that confidence and not too young to, work on their self-esteem. Because, a lot of kids, they deal with bullying, but it's become so normalized that they don't really see it as a problem.
Right.
Like it's
everyday life.
Absolutely a problem. And it's so funny that certain circumstances have introduced themselves while we're in class that I'm like, break, life lesson time. Like, we had one instance where one little girl said something, it was mean-hearted to another little girl of a different race. And so I'm like, oh, shut down, everybody stop, everybody hit the carpet. Okay, so let's talk. And so both, checked in with the little girl who had something, who was offended and had something said against her, checked in with her, made sure she was good, like reassured her, affirmed her, and made sure she was straight. The girl who did the offending, we had a real good just conversation and discussion. What made you feel like it was okay for you to say something like that? If somebody said something like that to you, what would your response be? And she's just, the offender just crying. And it's always, with kids, it's always something deeper. Like kids are sponges. So they take in their environments and they take in the things that they hear and see, and then they bring it to school, which is why I have a deep respect for teachers, because you're dealing with so many households and so many family dynamics and so many, you don't have a group of the same type of kids who come from the same type of backgrounds, and so you have to work with each of these kids exactly where they are, and so just opportunities like that. We have like two boys were fighting in the gym, and I'm like, oh, life lesson time, hit the carpet, And we talked about conflict, and we talked about how to handle conflict. We talked about what ifs, what are the solutions? Like, and kids are like, they're like mad insightful when they're given the space to like really discuss that stuff. They're like really insightful. I'm like, so I need you to take your own advice. You're saying you're supposed to walk away, but you didn't walk away. You got a black eye because you didn't walk away. And so just the ability to do something like that and be, kind of be mentor, teacher with them means a lot to me.
Seed planter. I always refer to it as planting seeds.
Yes.
And so you can change the world not only through education but through the arts. And the arts is like one of the most influential ways to change the world.
Absolutely.
Because everyone loves arts. It saves lives. It saves families. It brings people together. Absolutely. So always keep that in mind, y'all. Our time is like way over.
Sorry.
No, this was an awesome show. But 2 things. I'm going to ask her to spit a piece. But before she closes us out, do you have any words of advice for those that are starting to write poetry, whether they're young or old, something to kind of motivate them to continue their passion?
The one piece of advice that I would give is find your own voice. you're not legitimized by sounding like another poet. Mm-hmm. You're not legitimized by writing like another poet. They're already here. So your voice is yours. Your experiences are yours. Your circumstances, your environment, all of that is yours. Bring yours into your writing. You don't have to sound like anybody to be accepted. You don't have to, spit like anybody or whatever, like anybody to be. Find your voice, because what you have to say, we need to hear it. And we're not going to hear it properly from anybody but who the voice belongs to. Mm-hmm. So just be confident in the voice that you have. Practice. Write all the time. Write stuff you hate. Write about your fears. Write about stuff you're scared to write about. And just legitimately practice. Never forsake the open mic. It's a funny place, that open mic. It's a very, very funny place. But don't forsake it. You learn there. You grow there. You figure out what you absolutely, positively do not want to sound like. And you learn from other people, and you create community that way. So, yeah.
That was good advice. So before you stay, can you tell everybody how can anyone contact you, whether it's social media, email, website?
So my number is social media, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right. So you can follow me on social media. On Instagram and Twitter is Hey There Kezia, just HeyThereKezia.
Easy.
And I'm not weird, so I'll follow you back. It's no big deal to me. I follow people back. It's cool. On Facebook, it's just Kezia, just Kezia. We here, we doing stuff. On SoundCloud, YouTube, same thing. Hey There Kezia. My website is under construction for this big book release. But if you want to learn more about the book, you are welcome to go to the following link. Are you ready? All right. bit.ly/it's a book. All right, it's ISSABOOK. It's a book. And if you would like to come to my book release party, it's going to be the Twine Up. Same thing. bit.ly/Kezia's book release. All right. And you in there, homie.
Yeah, and we will put the links down below as well.
Word.
And are you ready? You want to close us out?
Yeah,
Showtime.
I was born ready. Not really.
All right.
Had to get ready. But yeah.
Ready? Okay.
Whew. All right, so this poem is called Skin You Grace. I love the color of my skin. Now, I know I've already started, but let me begin by saying that this has nothing to do with power, panthers, presidents, or anything else that's black. In fact, it has more to do with the slack I'm having to pick up from the lack of holding my chin up. Been up and down, back and forth with the figure in the mirror attempting to configure her worth. Played first fiddle but second string to my own lack of self-esteem. Confidence was just a dream, and no wonder. In retrospect, I recollect being made subject to an elementary remnant of a paper bag test. Yes, that's right. 3rd grade schoolyard by the monkey bars. 2 arms, hold yours up to mine. Let's see who's dark. You are, girl. But what did it prove? Nothing. Just a deeper chasm in my already shattered self-image. Self-grimace at the thought of being any further set apart from my immature counterparts, taking their taunts as gospel, building as many walls as possible, just to deliberate on how to disable the ability of their darts to penetrate. But now, honey, I'm embracing this melanin like I just bought it with my very last $1 billion and 7 cents. Or like it's heaven sent. Check the relevance. God most reverend reached down from heaven and grabbed a handful of earth. And with that dirt formed the rest of us. And if he makes no preference, best believe that's all the evidence I need. And I've been reaching toward confidence ever since. These mocha mahogany milk chocolate rivers of God's own ink flow over this fearfully and wonderfully made body. And I think it's funny that scientists think that they're on the brink of being able to bottle it. So now, my motto is, embrace the skin you grace. It was traced and placed on your frame with an amount of care so great that the hue is yours exclusively. We never needed the month of January to end to indicate just how beautifully our black graces the palette of Earth's faces so dutifully. So if while running the race you discover a decline in pace and find some space to sit back and recline a taste while everyone and no one's looking, find your face and embrace the skin you grace.
Woo! Yes! Well, thank you so much. You were amazing.
Thank you.
We'll definitely have you back.
Thank you. Awesome.
And all of our links are below. Make sure you follow us at 15 Good Minutes on
15 Good
Instagram
Minutes.
and Facebook.
Hey.
And I'm Shy Show Bob on Instagram if you want to follow me. Yeah. But it has been a really good 25 minutes today. So we will catch you next time. Make sure you follow, like us. Follow Kezia. I promise you your timeline won't be the same. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.